Hello, I'm Professor Steve Horowitz. I am the Distinguished Professor of Free Enterprise in the Economics Department here at Ball State. I'm also the Director of the Institute for the Study of Political Economy. I'm also the instructor for this online section of Econ 202, Elementary Macroeconomics. So welcome. What I want to do in this video is to go through the syllabus and talk about some of the things there and other issues important to getting the course started right. The first thing that you should do after viewing this, if you haven't done so already, is to read through the syllabus, which is available elsewhere in another module here on Canvas. So first let me talk about the nature of our online learning this semester. We will be fully online and we will be mostly asynchronous. The course is set up in Canvas, which hopefully you've already seen, and all the materials there, all the exams will take place online, everything will take place in that online environment, with a couple of synchronous components added in that I'll talk about in just a moment. What I do want to say, though, is I want to explain why this course is set up and was set up even before COVID to go fully online this way. About 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with multiple myeloma, which is a plasma cancer. There is no cure for it, but it's treatable. As you can see, right now I'm doing really, really well. But that's never certain, right? Things can change, and my current treatment's going great, but that can change, and just the uncertainty and the unpredictability of the disease means that teaching online has been really valuable for me to be able to continue to teach, but not have to worry about the challenges of having a room and showing up and all those things if I should get sick. And now, particularly in a world of COVID, where I fall into a couple of high-risk categories, it just doesn't make sense at all for me to be physically present on campus teaching the course. So we're going to do it online. This is the third semester I have done the course this way, so I've had some experience with it, and I'm pretty comfortable with it and confident that I think it largely works. And the thing that I'm doing differently this semester, as I said, is to add a couple of synchronous components to it, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. The other things you need to do right away for this course are to purchase the textbook, which is Modern Principles, the Macroeconomics Half by Cowan and Tabarrok. Please get the 4th edition. That's the current edition. That's the one we'll be using. It's really important that you get that. There's all kinds of electronic versions of the book. Those are fine, with the exception, do not buy a Kindle version because it won't include the graphs, or they're messed up and the tables are messed up, and you don't want to do that. So make sure you get something that is either the physical book, and there's plenty of used copies out there, or is an electronic version that's like a PDF that is designed to have all the graphs and tables and so on and so forth. So please do that as soon as you can. That's the main purchase for the course. That's the book that you need. Everything else is available to you, as I said, on Canvas. So in addition to the material on Canvas, I'm going to use Zoom for a couple of things. First, I'm going to use it for office hours. I'll have some scheduled office hours every Monday morning from 10 to noon. I will open up my Zoom personal meeting room for that. I have another online course that I'm teaching, so both of you will have the same office hours and the same meeting room for that. All the information about Zoom meetings is in a separate page elsewhere in Canvas, in a module called Zoom Meetings Information. I'll post it as an announcement as well. So office hours will be via Zoom that way. In addition, you can always email me and set up an appointment to have office hours with private office hour with me at a particular time using Zoom. I'll also happily use Skype or Google Hangouts if you want. No Apple stuff, however. And then in addition to that, I'm also going to have times where, think of it as like being my office door just being open. I'll open up that personal meeting room. I'll be there. Zoom will be on. If you happen to think of something and you have a question for me or just want to chat, you can go and click that link and see if the meeting room's open. If it is, either I'll let you in or keep you in the waiting room till someone else is done. And that's again, we're trying to recapture the experience of walking down the hall and seeing my office door open, and that's as good as I can do under the current circumstances. In addition to office hours, I will have some open Zoom discussion sections as well. Those will be on Thursdays. The ones for this course, they're each an hour long, and the ones for this course will be at 11 in the morning and then 2 in the afternoon. That will just be, I have a specific Zoom meeting room for that. You can come, you can ask questions about the week's material. I'm not going to do any lecturing or anything like that. I may say a few words about concepts I think are difficult, or if I see people in the discussion forum struggling with something, I might talk about that. But really, it's an opportunity for you to ask questions, to talk with one another if you want about material, about ideas in the course. We'll see. I've never done it before. It's an experiment. I'm doing it with both my online classes, and we'll see how it goes. So those are optional, but I think they could be really, really valuable, especially if you find yourself early on struggling with the material. The best way to get in touch with me, though, if you have an issue or a problem or just have a quick question, is email. I tend to respond to email very quickly, at least I try. Just a couple things about email to keep in mind. First of all, if you send me email, use your Ball State email, your bsu.edu address. Don't use your Hotmail or your Gmail. It enables me to know who it's from, enables my filtering system to put it in the right place. So please do that. The other favor you could do for me would be really helpful if in the header, the subject header of the email, you put Econ 202. As I said, I'm also teaching 116 online, and sort of knowing which course this is about is helpful, especially early on when I don't know which names go with which course. And please do make sure your full name appears either in the from of the email or in the body of the email so I know who I'm talking to. And lastly, make sure you check your Canvas email. Canvas email will be my primary way of communicating with all of you at once. If something's going on and I need you to know about it, it will be a Canvas email. Sometimes I use the announcement feature in Canvas, but I like the email better for a bunch of different reasons. So please make sure that you are checking that and that you know how to use it. If you miss a Canvas email because you weren't checking it and it had something important in it, that's not going to be an excuse for me. It's your responsibility to make sure you check that email. But again, emailing me is a reliable way to go. So, how's the course set up? As hopefully you've already seen, each week of the semester is a separate module in Canvas. Most of those weeks cover one chapter from the textbook. Some of them cover two, as you also might have noticed. Each of those weekly modules becomes available to you at 8 o'clock on Monday morning of that week. They stay open for the rest of the semester, so you can always go back to them. What you can't do is go ahead. I want everyone working at the same pace for exam purposes and a whole bunch of other reasons. So 8 o'clock Monday morning, all that material becomes accessible to you, and you can go in. And for each module, there's a sort of front page that has all the links for that week. A couple things that you should be thinking about and doing as you prepare for each week, as you go through each week. Most important thing you do: read the textbook chapter or chapters if it's two. Those are the main source of material for the semester and for the exam. So please make sure you do that first. As you're doing so, you can make use of the PowerPoints that are there. With the exception, I think, just of chapter 1. Every other PowerPoint in there is the PowerPoint that sort of comes with the textbook. So the PowerPoints track the textbook very closely. They go into some more detail on some things. Sometimes they're easier to follow than the textbook chapter. You can figure out what works best for you. I think sort of reading the chapter and then coming in, then looking through the PowerPoint is probably the way to go. Certainly if you were taking the course in a real classroom, you'd read the chapter ahead of time, one hopes, then go to class and we'd work through the PowerPoint together. So I think that order makes sense to me. In addition to that, each chapter has at least one, usually one, sometimes more than one, mini lecture for me. Those are about 15 minutes long, plus or minus, where I try to tackle what I think are the sort of the most important topics in the chapter, or ones that I think could use some additional explanation, and do a short mini lecture on those. So please do that. Make sure that you watch those mini lectures as well. Many of the chapters have some supplemental material. It's a video from the web or a reading from the web. Sometimes a little worksheet to do. Make sure that you do those as well. Those are important, and those will certainly enhance your learning and can be good fodder for one of the other things you'll have to do every week, which is contribute to a Canvas discussion forum. Every week, I will pose a question or an idea on a discussion forum for that week. Your job is to respond to it. It's important that you respond in a way that indicates to me that you have been doing the reading, looking at the PowerPoint, watching the lecture, that you're engaged with the course material. If you try to just respond to that by BSing me, with whatever you think I'm asking you about and shows no relationship to what we're doing in the course, you're just not going to get a good grade on that. I grade those in a sort of 1, 2, 3 fashion, with 3 being the best, 2 and then 1, and 0 if you don't do it. So if you want to get consistent 3s on those, you need to indicate to me that you're engaged with the course in a meaningful way. Obviously, there's 15 of those opportunities to do that across the semester. The way I grade those, as I said, it's a 3, 2, 1. So there's a possibility of 15 times 3. It's 45 points on that over the course of the semester. What I do, though, is I divide that by 36 when I compute your grade. So there's 2 ways to think about that. One way is you can take 3 weeks off if you want. If you just did 12 weeks and got 3s in all of them, you get 36. You get 100% on that. Great grade. So you can take 3 weeks off if you want. You can also do 15 weeks and get, in essence, what amounts to extra credit. If you did all of those, right, you'd have, by the end of 15 weeks, 15 weeks times 3, you'd have the 45 points divided by 36. You'd have a grade over 100%. And I'm happy to compute that in. So if you want to do every week and you get good grades every week, that's a way to get some extra credit. So discussion forums on Canvas are another piece of the puzzle. And finally, each week has homework questions. Those are listed again in the module in the main page each week for the module. Those are from the end of the chapter in the textbook. They're a Canvas assignment. You turn them in via Canvas. I also grade those on a 1, 2, 3 scale and work them the exact same way as the discussion forums. That is, there's 15 homework sets of homework problems. You can get 3 points on each one. I divide it by 36 at the end of the semester. So once again, you can take 3 weeks off, or you can do them all and get some extra credit. So if you do all that stuff, 15 weeks of discussion forums, 15 weeks of homework, the opportunity for extra credit is there. The breakdown of grades is as follows. Each of those the homework grade is 12%. The discussion forum grade is 12%. What about exams, you say? Well, that's the main way you'll be evaluated this semester. Exams, there'll be 3 exams during the course of the semester. They're worth 18% each of your grade. There's no final exam for the course. Instead of a final exam, there is a final writing assignment that asks you to engage in some policy analysis, to use the tools of the course to analyze change in monetary or fiscal policy. There's a full assignment sheet about that that's available on Canvas. That's due during what would be finals week. It counts for 22% of your grade, so a little bit more than the others. We'll provide much more guidance on that. There's, as I said, the assignment sheet. I'll send you an email and perhaps do a short video about it as that gets closer. So 3 times 18 on the individual exams, 22% for the policy paper, and then 12% each for the homework and for the discussion forums. You'll take your exams over the web using a web monitoring system. You need to have a desktop or a laptop with a working camera or microphone. To take those exams, to do the proctoring. Obviously, if you're going to participate in the Zoom stuff, you'll have that too. The one thing I believe is the case, and I haven't heard an update on this, is that Chromebooks will not work with that exam proctoring system. So if you have a Chromebook, you might have to get something different. I'm going to check into that, and I'll let you know via email as soon as I know whether that's still the case. So the exams will be done, they're all multiple choice, they'll be done over the web with a proctoring system. More information about that later on, but make sure you have a desktop or a laptop with a working camera or microphone. The grades are calculated, sorry about the cough. The grades are calculated the following way. Historically, the average grade in this class the last couple semesters has been around sort of B-. Seems about right to me. Each of the all the individual assignments in the course are, again, except the exams anyway, are graded on a 0 to 100 scale. In the syllabus, there's a conversion of that 0 to 100 scale to the A, B, C, D grades. If the grades are better than it and average out around to a B- or so or better, great. That's what we'll do. We'll stick to that scale. If the grades are weaker than that, I will curve it to make sure the final grade comes out about where I think it should be. But the way I curve it is at the end of the semester, I'll calculate all your grades. It'll come out. It'll be weighted. It'll come out to a 0 to 100 number. I will curve all of those and assign a letter grade according to that. For each of the individual exams, what I'll do is send out an email to you and say, on this exam, if you got this kind of score, that's approximately an A or a B or a C or a D. That gives you a sense of where you stand. Don't take the Canvas grading system as authoritative. It doesn't work the way I want it to work. It doesn't calculate things right. The individual scores are correct, but what it computes as your current grade. Oh, sorry about that. What it computes as your current grade. Don't pay any attention to that. If you need to know what your current grade is, what you need to do, how you're doing, email me, come to Zoom office hours, make an appointment, whatever you need to do. I'm happy to tell you exactly where you stand in the course and what you need to do. It's just that Canvas doesn't do the things that I do, that I need to do with Excel and a spreadsheet, and I'm happy to give you as much information about your grade as you want. So please take advantage of that, and don't be panicky when you see the Canvas grade. It looks so terrible or whatever. Ask me. Let's see. What else do I want to say? I think that's more or less it. One last thing, especially I think in the world of COVID. If you find yourself struggling outside of the class with work, with other classes, with family stuff, with personal stuff, with COVID related, whatever it might be, and you're finding yourself not being able to do the work for this class, please come to me and let me know you're struggling. I don't need to know what the problem is. That's up to you whether you choose to reveal that or not. But if you've got a legit thing going on and you can give me enough information for me to know it's legit, we'll work something out. What I don't want to see happen is for people to having to deal with outside of the class struggles and then not do the work in the course and fall behind and fall into a hole that you can't climb out of. It's happened. It happens all the time, and it saddens me. I want to help you, and I can't help you if I don't know that there's a problem. So please, if you have those kind of problems happening outside of class and you think you need to work something out, email me, come to office hours, make an appointment, whatever. Let me know. I'll do my best to work that out. Lastly, read the syllabus. The particular schedule for each week is in there. All the things you need to know are in there. Anything that I forgot to put in this video or didn't answer very clearly should get answered in the syllabus. It's available here on Canvas in the syllabus module, so please take a look at that. As I said, this will be the third time I've taught this course online. I think it has gone pretty well the last few times. I would prefer to teach it in person for a whole bunch of reasons, but between my health issues and COVID, that's just not possible. So I'm looking forward to the semester. I will try my best to get to know all of you as well as I can. You can help me with that by, again, picking up some of the synchronous components, the discussion groups, the office hours, and so on, and give me a chance to get to know you a little bit. Actually, one last thing I meant to mention. There may be some opportunities for extra credit this semester with probably Zoom lectures, but maybe some public lectures on campus as well. If those happen, I will let you know. I'll make an opportunity. If you can't do the Zoom, you can't do it on campus. Everyone will get some opportunity to engage, to get some extra credit related to that. You'll probably have to attend a talk or read something and write something about it. But if those opportunities do arise, I will let you know as soon as they do. Other than that, I hope you have a great semester. I'm looking forward to it. Again, any questions at all, please don't hesitate to email me. The course starts on Monday the 24th. The first week of the module for the first week will open up then. I'll have office hours that morning and the discussion sections later in that week. So looking forward to it, and I hope you enjoy the course. Thanks so much.